Hi, welcome to my Winter Solstice meditation evening. And before we begin, I just want to read the Winter Solstice blessings that's on the screen, just in case you can't quite make that out. And it's, may the longest night and the shortest day bring rest to your mind and soul, I pray. May you find guidance and may you find peace as the cycle of light will slowly increase. Embrace the magic that the darkness bears. Breathe deep in the chill and shift in the air. May you always be blessed with the light from within, and may well-being be yours as the new cycle begins. And I think that's a beautiful energy to begin this evening with. So I'm going to just talk a little bit to begin with about the winter solstice, but especially about the winter solstice this year and about this great conjunction that we're experiencing today between Saturn and Jupiter, and the way it works in perfectly with the energies of the solstice, so that it's a time of potential, very transformative, very positive change. And if you're sensitive to energies, you probably can really feel, I know I woke very early with a very strong sense, something's been building over days, and a very strong sense of expectation, of a feeling like something's in the air, something's about to happen. So if you're feeling those kind of feelings, that's the energy that's abounding at the moment. So the winter solstice in this hemisphere is a time to search for the inner light and illumination. So this is the light within. So it's the darkest time in the world without, or the world of matter. And we search for that light and bring that light, that inner light, into the world of darkness. And in this way, we spiritualize matter. Or you could look at it from a psychological point of view, that we make conscious what is unconscious, that which is deep and dark and hidden within us and still needs healing. We bring that into the conscious light of day by seeking the light in the darkness, by closing our eyes and going within. So it can be a time of deep inner reflection, and it can be a time that leads to revelation and illumination and understanding, and a way to really realign or align with our soul's path, our own inner compass. And it's no coincidence that happens in Sagittarius, where we have the arrow fired toward the right target. And this is this process of constant realignment that can happen at this time of year. So it's the end of the darkest times and the beginning of the light. I was reading today that in Stonehenge, years ago, when people were predominantly farmers, it was a time of great elation and celebration, because as the light of the new dawn came through the gaps and aligned beautifully as it does in Stonehenge, the farmers know the darker nights are going to get lighter. We're through the worst of the darkness. It's a ray of hope, that new light of dawn. And for us now, it's a ray of hope for a new dawn of an era. And this is the particular significance of today, of now. There's such powerful energies abounding that we cannot ignore the significance of these energies for us coming together at this time. So this Saturn-Jupiter conjunction exemplifies this natural process that normally happens at the solstice, and is making it much bigger, much more potential for change. So in this conjunction, we have a blending of two of the biggest, most powerful planets in our solar system that exert effects on the Earth. And we have a blend of the compassionate mind and the considerate heart. And potentially, this is a beautiful combination that will inaugurate this change. So Saturn, the revealer, has made us over the last year, especially acutely aware of what needs to be transformed, transmuted, and ultimately healed. It delves deep into our individual and our planetary karma, and through conflict and challenge reveals what we call the dweller on the threshold, or the sum total of all that needs transmuting and healing, both within our psyche, within the human family psyche, within our planet as a whole. So we could see this virus as a catalyst for change, and it's been a revealer of many truths that our egos would probably prefer not to have to deal with. And we're being asked to deal with those individually, the changes we've had to adapt to, often overnight. Our world changes with a news broadcast. Suddenly what we were going to do tomorrow, we can't do, we can do, we have to rethink. It's changed family dynamics when people are thrown together. It's changed work dynamics and learning new ways of working. It's changed the whole dynamics of the political, the economic, the social systems that we have come to know. It's changed us worldwide. It's not since the world wars that the whole planet has been involved in such a crisis. And right before our eyes, it has brought to our attention the climate crisis, the planetary ecological crisis. And it showed us that in a few months of changing the way that we live, our planet could heal in ways that we could not have foreseen. And in this way, I think what it has done is it sparked a sense of responsibility in a greater number of people. We cannot ignore the issue of what we're doing to our planet, and we were given a little window to see the changes we could make and the potential healing that can happen. The solstice connects us. It is a time that grounds our energy and connects us to the cycles of the planet, to the seasons, to the earth, to Mother Earth, our home. This crisis has also showed us the political crisis. It's brought division and power play and manipulation of opinions and information. And people are finding it very difficult to discriminate true information from false information. We've seen how the media can evoke fear and control the thinking of many. It's bringing up questions of human rights. We've also seen come bubbling to the surface, it's brought the world together in ways that are wonderful to behold. We've had countries sharing information, sharing ways of dealing with the pandemic. We've had worldwide scientists working together. We've had much division, but we've had much cooperation. We've had people celebrating key workers, looking out for their neighbor, looking out for the vulnerable. So there's been an individual involvement and discussion and debate on world issues that people probably would have just carried on with their normal lives had this virus not brought these things to their attention. It's highlighted the vulnerability and the inequality, the distribution of resources in the world when we complain about what's happening to us, and then we see how this virus affects the refugees of war, those in Yemen, those in the Palestinian refugee camps. So Saturn the Revealer has showed us much about ourselves that we might not like, but also showed us that there is hope. And then Jupiter comes along and joins with the energy of Saturn. And Jupiter brings this benevolent, this big, expansive heart, this radiant, supportive energy to help us to see the bigger picture, to be aware of our connection and our interrelationships with each other, and to most of all come into our heart center, and to be aware of what we call the Christ principle, or the Christ consciousness of universal, divine, unconditional love for our fellow man. So Jupiter evokes a consciousness of our brotherhood, of cooperation, on focusing on the greater good. So Jupiter, with its overwhelming light, brings the light of helping us to move forward, to address what Saturn revealed, and move forward into creating a world based on truth, on integrity, on cooperation, compassion, where we address these imbalances and we address what isn't good and right and true and establish right relations and make the changes that this conjunction is calling for. Together, these two planets create a Christmas star that illuminates our sky and is a very tangible guide. It's pointing the way in Sagittarius, the way forward, illuminating the way like it did for the wise men, leading them to the birth of the embodiment of the Christ principle of love, forgiveness, and compassion that was the baby Jesus. And I believe that today that there are enough people who have woken to a spiritual way of being, who have awoken to a soul principle within them. So that the Christ principle is, we're being asked to embody this Christ principle within each of us. And that enough people are opening their hearts, are opening their heart chakras, that are developing a discriminatory mind and are filled with the will to good, so that we can be the birth of a new era, working together, a new way of living and being toward realizing the true meaning of brotherhood, the brotherhood of mankind, or the sisterhood of mankind in the age of Aquarius. Many astrologers see this conjunction that occurs 0 degrees of Aquarius as the birthing of this new era, this new age. I want to show you now a picture that came to me this morning. This picture is on the wall in my bedroom, but it's looking at all of this from a completely different perspective. And I see the solstice very much from the Taoist perspective of the balance between the yin and the yang. And I see in this picture, we see here the dark night with the moon. And we see the light of the day here with the sunshine energy. Okay. And in this picture, I see us as at this time tonight, at the solstice, we are in this darker period. We are in the darkness, the dark energy of the yin energy, the nurturing feminine, the contemplative energy that connects us to the earth. But the seed of the light is there. And the seed of the light is this conjunction, this bright star, and the promise of the light of the dawn that comes on the solstice morning with the rising sun. And this lifts us out of that long night of darkness, of this dark age. And it's interesting that just before the last Renaissance, there was a conjunction just like this one. And there have been people that have been talking that before each new era, each Renaissance, each revolution of major change, we have had conjunctions like this that have been the catalyst that drive that change. So this will enable us to move into the light, the fire energy of the yang, the masculine energy to express and create a new life, both individually and collectively. But in this light, we are still ever aware of the darkness, of that aspect of darkness that is the retreat that we have, the contemplative, the intuitive guidance of the soul in meditation that guides the full expression of this light. So we go into the darkness and we seek the light from within, and we bring through into the world, into the light. And this enables us to spiritualize matter, and this enables us to work with the natural energies that are balanced in the yin and the yang. So you see here this symbology in this picture. I love it. You have the owl as the night, balanced with the eagle, often the symbol of the soul, emerging into the light of day, the clear blue sky, a clear, calm mind. And we see the conscious the light and the unconscious, that which needs to be healed. And as the light shines into the unconscious, it increases the conscious awareness. And we see this beautiful interplay, and you see the way that this looks like it is about to spiral. And we see the spiral through the planets, through the cosmos, the spiral through the seasons of life, all the spirals that are found throughout nature, the natural kingdom. And it connects us all with these energies and these spirals. And so when we come to understand these energies, then we come into this natural flow, and we're not resisting this flow. We're moving in the direction that is right and good and true for us individually and for us as a humanity. Now, many of us may feel like we're moving in the right direction individually, but I would say that as a humankind, that's questionable. I think many are drawing us in the right direction, but they're having to drag many others kicking and screaming in that direction. And this is the duality and the challenge we find ourselves in now. But this conjunction suggests that this duality, this challenge will soon will come to a redemption. We'll come to a point of balance, and there will be illumination. We will look back and understand, and we will see more clearly both the mistakes we've made, and we will see more clearly the direction we are taking. So it's interesting that in this conjunction, Jupiter, the bigger planet, the much brighter planet, is creating more of the light than Saturn. Okay, they stand with each other, they stand connected, but it is the radiance of the heart of Jupiter that is the key to this light drawing us in the right direction. So in the yin and the yang, no one is better or worse than the other. They are both needed for balance. Like the winter is needed for the seed to be nourished and protected in the womb of the soil and the earth, and till it is time for it to burst forth in the springtime with renewed energy and growth. And then to be radiant and shine, producing leaves and flowers in the summer, only to wither and retreat back down into the earth in the autumn again, creating new seeds and creating another cycle. But if we didn't have the restorative time of the winter, the pralaya of the winter, the plant would become exhausted, creating and expressing with that yang masculine energy. Anybody who has ever done a period of creative expression for any length of time knows that you get exhausted if you don't retreat inward and nurture those seeds. And that is also where new ideas, new seeds are allowed to be planted and to grow. Otherwise, there would be no change and none of the transformation and the potential that the new seed brings. So we will emerge from this crisis, and it is my hope that we will emerge ready to transform our world, not to go back to the world before COVID. So many people I talk to want to go back to life as normal. It's not an option. That's what all of this is about. No, this is to create something new, a better world. We are transitioning. We're in the hardest time of transitioning toward the new goals, like the archer realigning to find the right, the good and the true target. Tonight, we will go deep into meditation and into the divine feminine, into the yin aspect of all of us, to find the light, the spark, the intuitive guidance that will set the target of our arrows for the time to come. This is a time where people all over the world come together in meditation. It is a time when people have a day of contemplation, often of prayer and meditation, and they retreat from the world. And this is an important time. It's a time when You can seek in meditation very deep answers to questions you may have had for some time individually. And as a collective, we can search inwardly for the answers to bring us into this new era, to use these wonderful energies that are about at the moment, that we're living in the soup of this energy of transformation and change. And whether we're consciously aware of it or not, it will be working on every aspect of us. And we can work with that, or we can fight against that. And that is our choice. So when we come into meditation on the solstice, we are making a choice to align with the energies as they flow, to align with the cycles and the seasons, to this powerful connection to this divine feminine that brings forth the wisdom that is then we can then express out in the world. So there will be people all over the world coming together in meditation. And I want you to realize that when we come together in a group meditation, we are joining all of those people, okay? Because you join meditation from an intention in your heart. So we don't even have to know who those people are. We don't have to share the same words, culture, religion, belief, anything. All we share is that intention of the heart, that desire for change, that openness to growth. We connect with this expansive heart energy. For example, there are beautiful ceremonies in Australia, in the Aborigines, especially around Uluru, Ayers Rock, the sacred site there. There are ceremonies throughout the world, right through to the Druid ceremonies at Stonehenge. So when you're in this meditation, I want you to think of it as a meditation that's not just the people who are joining live or the people who are joining us through the recording, but this is a meditation that happens worldwide. In the southern hemisphere, they will be celebrating the summer solstice. And so if you like, we're in the darker yin energy of the divine feminine, whereas they will be celebrating the masculine yang energy of the divine masculine. So it's all a balance. So that's enough talking. What I want to do now is go into our time of meditation. So if you have a candle with you, that we can use the candle. Otherwise, if you can see the candle on the video, you can use my candle, or you can visualize a candle, especially if you visualize it with your third eye. So you visualize the candle just behind, center of your eyebrows, about an inch into your brain, if you like, just behind. So what I invite you to do before we close our eyes is just take your awareness right into the very center of the candle flame, right into the light. And in doing this, we're just having the intention that we are going to seek the clarity of the light from within us. So we are recognizing this time and the power of the solstice to illuminate, to help us to understand, to inspire us, to bring intuitive guidance from within. So just feel the steadiness of that light. So the light that is within us can never be extinguished. We can turn our back on it, absolutely. We can try and ignore it, and for many, many lifetimes we do. And we can pretend it's not there. Or we can have the courage to turn around and look at that light. and be drawn into the power of that light. And let it be a guiding light in our life. So now I invite you to just gently close your eyes. And for a few moments you will see an image of the light. And just focus on that image. And just let it quieten your being. And now I want to ground our energy. And what I mean by that is that we connect to the energy of our planet. So I want you to imagine that you're sending a connection down into the earth, either through your feet or through the very base of your spine, through the base chakra. And now come into an awareness of your physical body. This will bring us into the present moment. So just be aware of your body sitting in the chair. Be aware of the clothes on your skin. And then take that awareness to your sense of hearing and just allow the sounds in the room to just come in and be as they are. Simply listening. And now I invite you to bring this awareness to your breath. So just watching your body breathe in, watching your body breathe out. And just keeping a gentle focus on the breath. And I want you to imagine that as you breathe, you are opening a channel right down through the very center of your body. Starting from the area of your heart. It's like a space is opening between your sternum and your spine. Just gently opening. And then with each breath cycle, you're taking the breath a little deeper. Until it is comfortable to breathe slowly and deeply from your belly. And the breath is opening a beautiful channel, a space deep within you. And now just continue to keep a gentle focus on the breath. And whenever your mind becomes distracted by thoughts, by physical feelings or sounds, as soon as you realize, just come back to the breath. and come back with an attitude of loving kindness. So just feel your body beginning to relax. And follow the breath down into a quiet place within you. A place of stillness. You become aware of thoughts moving through your mind. But keep a gentle focus on the breath. And now as you breathe in, I want you to imagine that you are breathing in a pure white healing light. And it fills your entire being. Now as you breathe in this pure white healing light. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine you're breathing out black smoke. And this black smoke is any mental busyness still in your mind. So you breathe in the pure white light, you breathe out the black smoke. So whenever your mind is distracted, just come back to the visual image of breathing in the pure white healing light and breathing out the black smoke. So just continue to breathe in pure white healing light, breathing out black smoke, breathing out any mental agitation, any mental busyness in the form of black smoke. And now gently let the image of the black smoke fade, but continue to breathe in the white light. And now gently let this image of the white light fade, and just let your mind rest in the stillness. We contemplate the nature of our mind, and the nature of our mind is emptiness like space. So as thoughts arise, they just dissolve in this emptiness like space. And just allow your awareness to drop down into this space, to go deep. And you may become aware of images, feelings, symbols that are not your normal thought patterns, but insights that come from this deep place within you. Just allow them to come as they do, without particularly looking for anything. Let them arise in the emptiness like space. If there is anything you particularly seek guidance of, just simply ask into this space and then allow and be open and listen. You listen with your heart's awareness. And now from this place of deep connection with your true self, with the essence of who you are, I want you to have the intention that you join with the essence of all souls who are involved with us today in this group meditation, or those joining us through the recording. And together we seek the light of understanding, of inspiration and illumination. And I want you to visualize in your mind all peoples throughout the planet who are joined in various meditations at this time. Imagine you can see our planet from space, and all of these people would appear as bright lights scattered throughout the planet. But there are lines interconnecting all of these souls, forming a beautiful matrix. And this matrix forms a beautiful light that surrounds our whole planet. And this light is the light of change and transformation. See the energy fields of all of these people connecting, creating a beautiful energy field around our whole planet. And an energy field of light and love and the desire for what is best and good for all. Now in your mind's eye, see Saturn and Jupiter as a bright star above the horizon, aligned with the earth. And see all of those connected in this way, joining with the light that is coming from that bright star to form a beautiful arrow, aligning with an arrow that is true, integral, that brings the energies of love, wisdom, and creative intelligence into an alignment. Now visualize those working in the light lifting those who are perhaps not as aware of this light. Helping the whole of humanity move in the direction that is best for all, best for our planet. Bringing peace and goodwill. Harmony is restored. The balance in nature is restored. Bringing right relations within individuals, between individuals, within nations, communities, families, between nations, within our whole human family. And now imagine the light growing. Like the light as the sun comes up over the horizon in the dawn. And see this light pouring into the hearts and minds of people all over the planet, whether consciously or unconsciously, bringing them all into alignment with the light and with the hope and faith and change. And the birth of a new era for the human family. And know that when you connect with your own individual light, you become part of a much greater plan. And now gently let these images fade. And just come back into an awareness in your own heart center, center of your chest. And just bring your focus back to your breath. So you're back in your own energy field, back in your own body. But notice how you are in a beautiful alignment. You feel whole, complete, like you've come home, all parts of you aligned, heart, mind, body and soul. And now gradually come back into an awareness of your physical body. Take a nice deep breath in. But as you slowly open your eyes and come back into the room, I want you to keep a connection to that beautiful alignment. Keep an awareness of it. And bring all of that light, all of the understanding you gleaned, all of the illumination and any intuitive wisdom that you gained in this meditation, bring it back into the world with you as you open your eyes. Now just take a few moments, because you probably feel a little bit between worlds, okay, as you come back into the physical. That was a very powerful meditation. And I thank you for joining me. Sorry, I'm just coming back myself. And I trust that in connecting with that light within, that you felt a sense of perhaps your direction, and certainly a sense of our collective direction. Namaste.